Okay. Well, welcome to the first meditation practice of 2023. It's really awesome to be here. I love doing the asana of yoga or the physical practice, but I think I love the meditation even more. It just allows us to really sink into the work that we did with our physical practice. And I think it's important to remember that asana, or the poses, is just one part of your yoga practice. And originally, the poses or the physicality of what you do, coupled with the breath work, were all done as a way to prepare the body for meditation. If you think about having to sit, cross-legged in meditation for long periods of time, you would need to be able to control your breath and to have a body that was flexible enough, that had enough mobility, that was strong enough to sit. Sitting for a long period of time requires strength. You might not feel like it. You might feel like kind of this like blob on a chair, but it requires strength. When you think about sitting up straight, pushed away from your support, that's your core. That's your core working. Sitting up straight can trigger your sympathetic nervous system, your fight, flight, or engage. It's also the nervous system of engagement, and anything that we want to do, get out of bed in the morning, start a new hobby, anything that requires engagement requires us to have a strong fight or flight as well. So, but we're here to meditate. And this is for anyone who either is new to meditation or who maybe you meditated before, you've kind of gone off and on with it, and you want to get back into it, or you can't really remember exactly what to do. This is what we're here for today. Meditation should require nothing from you except a place to settle. So you can do it anywhere. I happen to be in one of our spare bedrooms. I'm sitting on the floor, but you can sit in a chair, on the sofa. I always say you can even lie down, but there's a tendency to fall asleep, which I call beditation, which is very different from meditation. And so I always try to guide someone who wants to lay down flat, to at least prop yourself up with enough pillows that you're not completely and totally flat. So that's the first thing. You want a place where you can settle, maybe away from the busiest part of your home where people might be walking in and out all the time. Quiet is good, but quiet is pretty optimistic. And I actually prefer an environment that isn't completely quiet. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. If you have a mantra, you can use it. If you don't have a mantra, you don't need one. You can, if you want to, choose a word that means something to you, or choose a sound that resonates with you. So for a lot of people, that sound is Om, but it doesn't have to be. You can choose a phrase. Everything will be okay, or all is well, or peace. You can meditate without any word at all, or any phrase, or any sound. So when you put these things together, what it looks like is you find a place to sit quietly, wherever that may be. And you allow yourself, I think the first step is to allow yourself to just become still. And, you know, of course, as soon as you say, all right, I'm going to be still, your nose is going to itch, or, you know, you're going to have to kind of shift in your seat. That's fine. You can itch your nose the entire time that you are meditating. It is okay. Physical things will happen to you while you're meditating. But you might find that the more you meditate, the less they become bothersome or evident. So you found a quiet place and you're settling in. You're just feeling the weight of your body in whatever structure you've chosen, the floor, a chair, a bench, front seat of your car, any place you're sitting or laying down. Feel the weight of your body. I really like to begin this way because we so infrequently, so rarely do we allow ourselves to feel the weight of us, you know, especially this time of year. If I see another ad for a diet, I think I'm going to scream. I actually just went into my social media, Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and was able to restrict all ads for anything that related to diet. Anyway, you know, we are really good at becoming small, but feeling the weight of your own body, however your body exists in the world, is connecting back to your inner source. So that inner light, you're made of light and love and bones and muscles and all, you know, millions of cells, but at your core, feeling the weight of yourself in your chair. We'll just call it a chair for now. Notice how the chair meets you where you are. The seat of the chair comes up to meet you. It rushes in to support you. So think about that support. We're shifting from the weight of ourselves to the support that exists for us. The chair seat, the chair legs, the floor beneath it. Everything beneath the floor. So all of the structural stuff, the I-beams and the floorboards and the cross boards, all of it. The ground below that. All of these things rush up to support you. The support is always there. We rarely notice it or take time to stop, but it's there. So take this little bit of time. You felt the weight of yourself. You've let yourself go in all of your splendid glory, in all of the weight of you. And not just your physical weight, it's the weight we carry. All of the hopes and the dreams and the things that didn't happen and the things that didn't work out and the things that did and the beautiful stories, all of that, let it sink. And then let the support that always exists rise up to meet you. Find yourself in that place. So take, you know, as long as you need, maybe I'll give you a minute. And while you're doing that, don't change anything, but notice your breath. So you're not changing your breath. As soon as I say notice your breath, all of a sudden you either hold your breath or you think it needs to be different. It does not. When we begin to meditate, we do not have to go into any elaborate breath pattern. So just notice your breath. What's it doing? Is your mouth open or closed? Do you have a cold? Are you able to breathe in through your nose? Do you feel it in your chest? Does it feel like your chest is rising instead of your belly pressing out? Or opposite? Do you feel your breath really low and deep? So just noticing that breath. I have a friend who gives dance workshops. I may have told you this before. And I do workshops on yoga for the pelvic floor. And so I always tell my students to breathe down in between your hip bones. And she says, no, no, no. Breathe into the soles of your feet. Think about sending your breath low so that your hip bones widen. Maybe you feel it go down into the pelvic floor, maybe even into your hip flexors, into your quads, around your knees. Imagine your breath swirling around your knees as it heads down to the arches of your feet. When you send your breath low, you take it out of your chest and it moves into the belly, where you now trigger your parasympathetic nervous system, or rest and digest. Think about your belly getting soft. And when I think about my belly getting soft, I think about those old master paintings where the women are full and the bellies are soft. And there is absolutely no thought whatsoever about holding in anything. Everything is relaxed. Without even noticing it or realizing it, we often are holding our abdominal muscles really tight. So let them go. Let the belly expand as you inhale. And then as you exhale, everything just comes back to where it was originally. So you inhale, let me put my tea down. You inhale, the belly expands, maybe the side ribs. You might feel it wrap around into the back, the low back. And then as you exhale, it all comes back together. We're not pulling the belly button to the spine. There's none of that. We are like a blood pressure cuff where, the nurse pumps it up, it gets nice and puffy. And then when she lets it go, it just goes back to where it was. So breathe in that way. And sometimes this can take a little while. Like it might not feel like it comes naturally, and that's okay. What we really are just trying to do is find a deeper breath to get it out of our chest. So we avoid the, and we send it low and deep. If the cue to send your breath into your feet is just beyond, then soften the belly. That's all you need to do. So here we are now. We have found ourselves. We feel the weight of ourselves. We feel the support. We know the support is always there, and we're breathing. You can choose a mantra if you'd like to, or you don't have to. So we talked about mantras. If you have one, use it. The mantra is there because, your thoughts are going to ping pong around your head. And when you find yourself attaching to a thought, say your mantra. Because it's okay to have the thoughts there. It's okay to have them all over the place. But once we attach to the thought, we break the spell. So the mantra rushes in to smooth that over. So we can continue meditating. So if you have a mantra, go ahead. Just identify it. And then, I alluded to this earlier. You don't have to have a completely quiet space. Even if you think you have a quiet space, something will happen. Invariably. For me, it's the dogs. But I prefer a space that is not completely quiet and still, because we don't live that way. Life does not happen in the absence of silence. In the absence of noise. Life happens when we're noisy. We're noisy and we're messy and we make mistakes. This is where life happens. So when we meditate and we shore up our own life force, it seems to only make sense that we are surrounded by the flotsam and jetsam of life. So if you have a cat that wants to, scratch, or the aforementioned dog, or the siren that goes by. I have a really old radiators and they clink and clunk. Allow those things to happen. They can exist alongside your own stillness. They can be active while you are still. Just as sometimes they are still while you are active. So noises. You found the weight of your body. You feel your support. You found your breath. You've chosen your mantra. Now, listen to what you hear, whether it's the dripping faucet or maybe the coffee pot percolating or the wind blowing. Maybe it's way more intrusive. Maybe it's somebody yelling next door. These things are allowed alongside your stillness. Without judgment, without attachment, you can let them be. So we're going to begin, if you haven't already. If your eyes are not already closed, you can close them. You can cast your gaze to the floor. If it feels unsafe to close your eyes, then just cast your gaze to the floor. You can keep them open, or you can close them. Take a breath in through your nose. Let it go through your mouth. Nice big sigh. Do 2 more. Breathe in. Let it go. Last one. Breathe in. And let that go. Let your breath come back to normal. In through your nose, out through your nose. Any thoughts that might be jumping around, just allow them to pass. They're not staying. They're not moving in. They're passing through. And if it is difficult to let them pass, then repeat your mantra. Say your word. If you don't have a mantra, then connect back to your breath. In through your nose, out through your nose, in through your nose, out through your nose. Your breath can be your mantra. So I will mind the time. You don't have to worry about it. We're going to be here for this first one, let's just say 15 minutes. But you don't have to worry about what time it is. I will mind the time. I'll let you know when it's when we're ready to return. You have nowhere else to be. You have nothing else to do. You can be here now. without changing anything. Just observe your breath. It might feel really soft and small. And just begin to deepen your breath a little bit. Begin to let go of your mantra if you used one. And again, become aware of the sounds and the sensations around you. If some of these things faded into the background or the distance, you can invite them to become a part of your space again. And then if you'd like to, you can drop your chin to your chest. And just blink your eyes open and get used to the light. And then when you're ready, you can lift your chin. Take a breath in, sigh it out. 2 more times. Breathe in, let it go. Last one. And let that go. So there is your meditation 101, how to prepare yourself to sit quietly. We did 15 minutes. You don't have to do that long. You can do 10 minutes if you don't have a lot of time. 20 minutes twice a day is usually what you might want to work up towards, but doing that all at once sometimes feels like a lot. I will even try to meditate sometimes if I just don't have time and I'm waiting in line somewhere in my car. I'll just try to take a few moments to become mindful of what's around me, breathe deep, close my eyes, maybe if I'm not while I'm driving, obviously, I'm parked. But setting aside the time and marking that time as important to you is also part of your meditation practice. So I hope that you're able to maybe start one, continue one, or reestablish a practice. And, if you had any questions at all, you can always reach out to me. You can, send an email to the OMS people. I have a Facebook group called Energy Plus Function. I'm the function part of that group. And you can always direct message me there and join the group if you want to. It's fun. But if you have any questions at all about your meditation practice, feel free to reach out. I am more than willing to, talk about it, answer what I can, what I know. So let's see, not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday thereafter, I will be teaching the 5 yoga poses you need to know. So they're basic poses. And if you are going to head to a yoga class, these are the things that you might want to know going in. So you're not just always looking at the person next to you who might not be doing it right or who might not know what they're doing either. So it'll be a simple practice the 5 yoga poses you need to know. And, we always do a little bit of work with the vagus nerve. We always do a little bit of meditation in our yoga classes as well. So if you don't have any questions, I'll let you go on your way. I hope you feel relaxed. I hope you feel calm. I hope this sends you into a good night's sleep or whatever you have planned for the remainder of your day. And I hope to see you next time. You will get the link to this. I think, let's see, it's January. Maybe in the first week of February or so. They send out everything from January. So if you want to do it again, or if you know someone who might benefit, then you can share the link with them. But otherwise, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. It was an honor.